Hey everyone, and welcome back to
Hey.
Gracefield Families. It's
Woo.
so good to see you and have you here today. And today we are talking about celebrations, aren't we?
I love celebrations. Celebrating is so much fun, and there's real brilliant reasons as to why celebration in a family home is super important. So stick around and you'll find out why.
Yeah, see you in there.
See you soon. Before we jump into our video today, I just want to remind you that at Gracefield Families, we empower you to live out your family values and kingdom purpose, steering clear of this world's distractions.
So to empower you, we actually have a 5-day family insight guide on our website, www.gracefieldfamilies.com, which is completely free. And it is a resource to help you understand your family better and give you purpose and goals for the future while resisting the busyness of our world.
Yeah, so head on over and we look forward to helping your family to thrive.
All right, so celebrations, they're one of our favourite things to do. And in fact, there's a lot of reasons to celebrate, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not just talking about big celebrations like Christmas or Easter or birthdays. We're talking about celebrating little things each and every day through to the big things that happen maybe once a year, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes these little celebrations can actually become a tradition in your home. And so they can really help our family to thrive and to enjoy each other, enjoy life, celebrate. But there's actually some really good research as to why celebration is actually really important. Because some research has actually shown that celebration reduces stress.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, reduces stress, but it also increases happiness.
Yeah.
Releases happiness hormones. That's cool, isn't it?
Pretty good reason.
Yeah.
It also can strengthen your team. And here in Gracefield Families, we're all about working as a team, as a family team. And so celebration can really strengthen that team and that family bond.
Absolutely. It builds loyalty. Like it's something that when you celebrate someone else's achievements, it shows that you're on their team and that you're loyal to them. And so celebration sort of removes some competition. Not that competition's always bad, but yeah, it builds loyalty.
Yeah, it can also improve productivity. And that is in a workplace, but also in our family teams. When we actually celebrate each other and celebrate the little things that we do and recognize what people do and what our family, each one of us does in our home, it can actually then encourage us to do more.
And who doesn't like being appreciated through celebrations?
I do.
Yeah, I love it. And celebrations give you energy, knowing that you've done a job well done, and it creates a space for you to reflect and understand why you did what you did and help you feel way better about yourself.
Yeah, so it really increases that self-worth as well. And celebration is really fun. It's also really vital. But I don't know if you've heard of the 5 love languages, but one of them is actually words of affirmation. And celebrations are a real way of being able to affirm those in our family and those we love.
Absolutely. Actually, would speak into many of the love languages, right?
Yeah.
Celebration, often physical touch, there's often gifts, all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it actually helps all love languages.
Yeah, and it's a real
point.
way of loving our family
Yeah.
and our children and each other.
Yeah. And like psychology today tells us that celebrating wins activate brain's reward system, which boosts motivations to do those same tasks in future.
Yeah.
And increases life satisfaction.
Yeah, it also showed, and we're actually reading this research so I don't get it wrong,
Yeah.
but this skipping celebrations increases stress and the risk of burnout, harming motivation and well-being.
So you have to do it or it's harmful.
Yeah,
Woo, that's awesome.
that's heaps
Let's
fun.
celebrate, party. So small wins and celebrating and recognizing the small wins helps to solidify the lessons your kids are learning.
Yep.
Fostering intentional future action. Sorry, that sounds red because it's research and we want to get it right.
Absolutely. And I guess one final research, about it is that celebration is so much fun. It creates opportunities for amusement, for fun, for entertainment, and for really just enjoying life as a family.
Absolutely. And recognizing the journey you've been on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you can celebrate? We've just made a list of all these things that we celebrate. Hey, so simple birthdays. You want to celebrate all the little beings in your family.
Yeah. And the big beings too.
And the big beings, yes. And the older beings of grandparents and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Christmas, the Lord's birth, is pretty important to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Along
Easter.
comes with that is Easter.
Yep.
Chicken or the egg sort of thing. We need them both, right?
Yeah,
like the
sure.
Lord died for our sins, but he had to be born to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're the obvious ones. But in our home, we also celebrate other things. And we actually, at the end of every term and at the start, but more at the end, we always have a celebration to celebrate the term we've had.
Absolutely. Sporting achievements?
Yeah. Academic achievements, not because we want to celebrate that they got an A or a B or whatever, because as long as they're doing their best, the effort is what we actually care about in our home. But it's more about the fact that they're being persistent, that they're persevering, that they're really trying hard. That's the things we want to celebrate.
I guess the important thing is to recognize celebration versus, what's the word? Like reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like if you get an A in your science test, we will reward you with this. It's like, no, you got a science test. Awesome. Let's celebrate. Let's do the good things. It's not just about A's either. You might be celebrating a C or even a D if a kid's had a really rough time.
Absolutely.
It's not about that. Yeah. So a celebration isn't something that is known beforehand necessarily in that sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, we have, as I said, celebrations you can start traditions. Like we have the tradition at the end of every term, we have a celebration. So they know that's coming. But sometimes we just celebrate for the sake of celebrating. And another thing we do with that is actually celebrate character. And when we see character traits that are worthy to be celebrated and are what we're training our children to be. For example, kindness. We celebrate kindness in our home. And so when you see, like, I love the way that you were really kind to your brother or your sister. And in that, we sometimes hear, oh, let's have a celebration. And it can be super easy. It's just like a lolly or a donut or something. But celebrating and recognizing character traits just because.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's good. We celebrate being a family.
Yeah.
One of the main things we do is family team night every Thursday night. But we celebrate often. We'll go for a hike and at the end we celebrate that. We celebrate just being a family and what it means to be a crocker.
And also new accomplishments like new jobs or new reading levels or whatever it is. We celebrate them. Sometimes we just have them for fun.
Yeah, just because.
Just because. And today we had a little celebration because we went to watch my niece's grand final last night and she lost, but it was fun. So
we celebrated her loss. Well done, Tennille. You lost.
But we love you.
Yeah, and we got chocolate biscuits and donuts for it. So
brilliant.
that's good.
Thank you for that, Tennille.
Thanks, Tennille. So how do we celebrate? We'll run through these fairly quickly. You can have a party.
Yeah.
One of our favourites is like a yes day where you just throw it to the kids and let them have a yes day. Special meals, treats.
Yeah, I mean, a tradition of our family, as we mentioned before, is family team night every single week. And part of that is to have a special meal. And with that meal, we have a special drink and a little dessert at the end as well. So they actually look forward to team night. They helped at the table. There's actually blogs and other resources on our website about team night. But the special meal and the treat is
high
what
fives.
we do. We love it.
High fives are always hugs. High fives, those sorts of things are always ways of celebrating.
Yeah. Time. Time's a big one. Like going for a walk or a bike ride, or like for our kids, they love the BMX track. And so sometimes the celebration is to ride down there together and spend some time there.
Yeah, we've done a couple of hours of gardening. Let's go celebrate at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. We don't always use the term celebrate either. You don't have to, but you just celebrate.
Yeah.
Movie nights are pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then celebrations specific. So it might be Christmas. You know what your traditions are and what you do for Christmas. But part of that might be like reading the Christmas story together or something specific to that activity as well.
Yeah. So I guess there are a few ideas and the ideas are endless. Like even in the comments, can you write what you do? Because that might give us some more ideas for celebrations in our home.
Absolutely.
But because the ideas are endless. You could do absolutely anything. But I guess the biggest thing is to celebrate.
Yeah.
And celebrate because, have fun. Fun, God's created fun. He's created joy and he wants us to be joy and happy together. But a really, really, really big tip is be careful what you start.
Yeah.
Really be mindful of that because sometimes you don't want to start it bigger than Ben-Hur and then it sometimes is bigger or harder than it needs to be, and so then it all becomes overwhelming and you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I know Nicole's mentioned it a few times, but if you go watch our blog on family team nights, we
Yeah.
talk about keeping it simple, right? You don't want to start celebrations and traditions that are hard to maintain, and so then what ends up happening is you just don't do it. And that's a shame. That's a real shame.
In fact, if we're truly honest, we started our team nights a little bit too high.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Oh,
And we had to, like, it was just epic, and then it just got a little bit too hard.
We had to knock it down a peg.
And we had to knock it down a peg. And so sometimes it's okay to do that. But we learnt from that.
Yeah.
But just keep it simple, because the idea is celebration, isn't it?
Excellent. And another one is we need to teach our kids that not everything needs or deserves a big celebration.
Yeah.
Right? We sort of talked about it before. Like kindness, like they should be kind all the time. That should just be an expectation.
Yep.
But every now and then it's like, you know what? You were heaps kind. Let's celebrate it.
Yep.
And it's not a reward for good behaviour.
No.
It's a celebration of what we're seeing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess too, part of it is that we need to teach our kids from a really early age that celebration does not equal present or treat.
Yeah.
Presents or treat are great sometimes, but just, for example, time together or a movie night or, even just the word of affirmation for it. That's super important, and that is as much of a celebration as getting a present or a treat. And so we need to teach our kids that particularly in this consumeristic society that we live in, that we don't have to give in to that.
Absolutely.
And that we can actually enjoy just being together.
Yeah. And I know we just said we use food to celebrate Tenille, but like there's so many psychology research and stuff out there that says, food, if you attach that to positive celebrations, well, you can increase obesity. Stuff like that. You just need to be mindful that you're celebrating positively and not creating any harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that's been a little bit insightful into what we do, but also what you might like to do. It might spark some celebration in your family.
Yeah, put it in the comments. Let us know what you do. We're pretty keen to keep celebrating ourselves, so it's nice to know what others do.
Absolutely. And, head on over to our website to find any resources that you might help, even the team night one.
Yeah.
And that will help your family. But I really encourage you this week. What can you celebrate in your family? And have fun doing it together.
Yeah. All right. God bless.
God bless. See you later.